Welcome guys to my last video on this laptop. So yeah, just like for the past couple months, my friends have been like putting together like old parts of their computers that they don't use anymore, and they bought a couple parts and they put them together and they're able to get me a PC, which I'm very grateful for. I'd like to give a huge thank you to Shaqed and Alex. They're very good friends, and I'm very thankful for that. Which will mean that I will hopefully I'll definitely be playing a lot more games now. I already have like one idea for a game that I'm gonna play, but yeah, without further ado, let's get started with Sonic logos. So yeah, this is just like the logo that's shown on the box art of games, and yeah, to get started is Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and it's kind of basic. It has a not quite the completed font. The S looks a little weird, and I don't know. I mean it's neat. Like the red and white looks nice, but there's just so many better ones I have to put in the C tier. Next up, Sonic CD. I really like. I think it's definitely a step up from Sonic One. It brings like the yellow and blue, which they still use a lot, and I think it looks good. I'll give it a B tier. Next up, we have Sonic 2, which takes back some of the red font from Sonic 1 and also brings back the hedgehog part. But it does also keep the thing from CD, which I like, but I don't like it quite as much as CD, just because for some reason the yellow is more of like a muted orange, which I guess like kind of works because it's like Tails, but I don't know. Next up, we have Sonic 3, and Sonic 3's is good. I think it's a step up from Sonic 2, although it's still not quite like as good as CD. Because I like that they ended up like swapping the blue and the yellow, which I think looks neat. Although I think they're starting to like overuse it a little bit. That like in some of the newer ones, I like that they're recoloring the logo a little. Next up, we have Sonic and Knuckles, and this one's definitely kind of different from the rest of them. It's like it was more similar to CD. It just has like the same like Sonic thing from CD, and then just the Knuckles part. And I think it's pretty good. I like it. There's not too many colors going on. I think I'll give it like a little bit higher B. Next up, we have the Sonic Adventure logo, and I really like it. I don't really get like on the brown part that outlines it, the bricky texture. I don't get why people don't like that. To me, it kind of looks like cracky rocks, which I think fits good for the adventuring theme, and also is like a neat like little like bluish background. I think it looks really nice. I think it'll be an S tier. Next up, we have Sonic Adventure 2, which is also an S tier, just because I don't know. I know it's kind of a basic opinion, but I don't know, it looks so good with like the blue and the black and the like I don't know, I just like you can't really see it very good in this picture, but the blue like the inside part of like the Sonic wording has like these little like white stars in them. They look really nice. These little like sharp corners. This looks really good. Next up, we have Sonic Heroes, which isn't quite my favorite. For some reason, whenever I look at it, I think of like a sledgehammer. Like look at the shape; it has like that's all I see when I look at it. But I don't know. It's not quite my favorite. I think I'll give it. Let's see. I'll give it B tier. Next up, we have Sonic 06, and game aside, it's a pretty good logo. It's definitely like it cleaned up like the hedgehog part. Although I will say I think the gray does look a little bit dark, but I like it. I'll give it A tier. Next up, we have Sonic and the Secret Rings, which I think is good. I like the little like fire effect on like the top of the O. Although it's not, it's I don't know. I like it. I think I'll give it like a high A tier. Next up, we have Sonic Unleashed, which I think is another S, just because I like I don't know. I like the slash. I like the weird like decaying effect on the white letters. I don't know. I think it's just really good, and I'm trying to not base this off of how much I like the game, but yeah, I know I think it looks nice. Next up, we have Sonic and the Black Knight, which I think is definitely really good. I think it just I think it just barely doesn't get S tier, but I think I really like it. I think if it had been the Excalibur on the logo, I think I might have liked it a little bit more than this basic sword, but it still works really good. I like it. See, next up, Sonic Colors. I don't know, its logo is a little bit of like a step down for me, just because I'm not like the biggest fan of like this shade of blue. But I think I don't know, the modern ones have had pretty nice logos, but I think I'll give this one, I'll give it like a really low A. I know I said I didn't really like it too much, but yeah. Next up, we have Sonic Generations, and the game is really good, although I think there's a little bit too many colors going on in the logo, but I think it's still really good. I think it's like, I don't know, I like the red, orange, and yellow, although it doesn't really fit that well with the actual wording. I think if they matched the background things to the color of the wording a little bit more, I'd like it, but I think it's still good, though. Next up, we have Sonic. I almost said Sonic in the Lost World. What is this, a storybook game? But no, but Sonic the Lost World, and I like it. It like the wording just looks the same, and the Lost World thing. It really just shows that it's a weird game, and I think it really gets the point across. So I'll give it A tier. And next up, I always say that Forces is terrible and stuff, but not even the logo's that great. It has like the star thing for the resistance. I'll give it that. But then there's just that weird fire effect on it, and it just does not quite work. I think I know I'm a little bit biased because I really don't like it, but I'm trying to. I'll be as generous as I can, and give it a low B. Next up, we have Sonic Frontiers, which I think is another. Which I think is another like S logo. I think I'll put it a little bit behind Frontiers. Well, I'll put it a little bit behind Unleashed. But I like the white. It's kind of neat that it's like just one like solid color. Like I think Black Knight tried to do that a little bit, but then they added like the glint. But it's kind of neat and it's all white, and it has like the cyber corruption on the things, and the O looks neat. It even has like the Psyloop effect a little bit. It looks nice. I like it. It's very different. Next up, we have Sonic X Shadow Generations, and it has a similar problem to the Forces one, that there's a little bit too much going on, and has a little bit of the similar issue to the original Generations, although not as much. That there's also too many colors going on, because we have the blue and yellow, the blue and yellow from the Sonic, the black and red from the Shadow, and then the gray from the Generations. I think I don't know, maybe if they made the Generations wording match with one of the other two, I'd like it a little bit more. But I think I'll put it I'll put it in like mid A tier. But yeah. Oh, now I just realized I haven't noticed this whole recording, but you can't really see down there, but it's alright. But anyway, that'll be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and goodbye. Bon appetit.